Hello, Scorpio. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using this deck, which I guess keep showing the back of because I've had it for a long time. I don't know the name of it, but if you do, feel free to leave a comment at the bottom, and I will put it in the description. For the support of Oracle cards, I'm going to use the Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards, and at the bottom here is who created them, Tori Hartman, illustrated by Gretchen, and there's her last name, which I decided not to butcher this time around. So, that's what we got. Alright, let's see what we have for Scorpio. Your card is good. Your card is good. That's curious. Okay. There's a lot of... I feel like there's a lot of talk going on. And I feel like they're giving you a heads up about what's going on around you. Because when this the base of the situation is like, I feel like you've been very busy. You've been getting a lot of things done. There's a lot going on around you. That's not really shocking for Scorpio. At least for the Scorpios I know, like they don't stop. They just don't. It just doesn't seem like they do. But I'm also getting kind of like, you've been working to make things change. Like you're constantly like, if I don't like it, then I'll move it around. And if I don't like it, I'll change it. If this isn't working for me, then I'll find something else that will. And if you need some help and I like you enough, well, maybe I'll help you change your stuff too. You've been very busy though, and I feel like you've probably been helping some other people, but it's kind of intermingled with helping what you got to do. You're doing your own stuff and other people, and it seems to be intermingled, like it's all kind of like falling in on each other. It's not bad, but it's just kind of like all interweaved. It's probably the better way to put it, interweaved. And there's times where you kind of like you have to call it out for what it is. The High Priestess is here, the Tower is here, and the Knight of Pentacles. You set things up to succeed. People may not understand how you make things work out sometimes, but there's a lot of like stability here. A lot of things that work out the way they're supposed to because you put in the effort that requires for it to keep going. The shock is, I feel like the shock is more about other people. Like they don't understand how you get it done. They don't understand how that worked out. How did you remember everything? I feel like there's literally people watching you do things and they're like, I don't know how you made it happen because I couldn't do that. Like you go from one to the next or something like that. And it's just like they make it happen. It works out. I don't know how they do it, but they do it. The Tower card could be for other people too. I don't see the Tower card I don't see you hitting the Tower card. I feel like other people like trying to mimic what you're doing and not being able to. That could be the Tower card as well. And then you have to pick up the pieces and help them clean it up. And then they don't get it. They don't get it. They just flat out don't get it. But I feel like you might be doing that as well. And it does. It works out. I don't see the Tower card really hitting like you directly. Like the Tower's not falling on you. I feel like other people are having Tower card moments and you're kind of going in there and fixing it. And they're like, I don't understand how you do it. How come I can't do it? And you're like, well, I don't know what to tell you. I just do what I do. I don't know. Like, I literally feel like that's coming out. Like, I don't know. I just do what I do. You keep helping people. Like, I'm getting that again. For those of you this is hitting with, like, people are trying to mimic what you're doing and try to do it the way you do it. They can't. So you're picking up the pieces. The Star card is here in the environment. Like, people seem to be hopeful or thinking that they can do it the way you're doing it. I think this is the big problem here. Maybe this needs to be made, like, maybe this is the whole point of this reading, is that you are successful being you. Like, you're not something to be copied. You can't be, like, mass-produced. Even if you write down in a list like how your mind goes and how you remember to do things, I just don't feel like if somebody doesn't have the natural energy you have, they can't just do it on their own. It's just they can't mimic your behavior and expect the same result. things work out for you because you are who you are. You connect with who you are. You're just going with your natural energy. Because I'm getting this star card, which is usually a good card, but like they're wishing they could be more like you, and they're trying to make that happen. And I'm going to cheat a little bit. Yeah, I thought so. There's two cards, like they're going to be literally, they're trying to figure out how you do it. They're trying to figure out how you do it, and they're trying to do the same. They got the Eight of Cups here. It's not quite working. It just doesn't feel like it's quite working. And they're trying to make it work out. They got contemplating, like they're trying to figure it out. And they're trying to make it happen on their own. It's just not happening. It's just kind of like they're falling short. They keep trying to do it. I feel like you're kind of seeing this happen, but you're not realizing why they're doing it. So you just keep picking it up. You're just kind of like, I feel like part of you is kind of going, well, you knock it off and just like, what are you doing? But you're also kind of like, yeah, well, I can do it. So at the same time, you're like, would you knock it off and do it right? But on the other hand, you're like, well, I'll just fix it. I'll just fix it and just keep going. And I feel like you're trying to give pointers to this person, not realizing they're trying to mimic your behavior. They're trying to do it like you do it, and it's not their natural energy. It's like trying to teach a fish to fly. Like, sure, there's flying fish out there, but they can't fly up across land and land on a tree, and live. And live. So it's kind of like, their energy is not the same. And I feel like you're teaching this person, you're trying to help this person, and you're not realizing what they're really trying to do. So at some point, they seem to catch on that, do I like this? I don't know if I like this. I think I like this. Let's see. Let's just do this, because self-worth is first for them. I feel like at some point they get the point. They're not you. They're not you. They're not going to be able to do it the way you do it. You have your specific own flow, and you honor your own flow, and that's why you're successful. They have a different flow. The Ten of Cups here is telling me that they have to find their own way. And they seem to be realizing, like, the way you do it is not going to work for them. Okay. What comes next? This ending is interesting because I'm not exactly sure if you're going to like it or not. It feels positive, but let's see where it's going. I'm not really sure. This is in the environment. This is breaking a habit. The Ace of Pentacles reversed is breaking the habit. That's what I'm connecting with. And then the quest is like, then they got to find out, how do they make it happen? I almost feel like if I'm going to be really opposite on this, like the opposite of Scorpio is Taurus. So Scorpio can do random things and get random things done. They go here, they go there. They can do part of this, part of that, and it all comes at the end. They get it all done, and they get it. But a Taurus is kind of like, I have a set way to do things. You go A, point 1, A.2, B, B.1, B.2, C, point 1, C.2. You do it in the same way, the same time, every time, at the same rate. And that's how you do it. That's stereotypical Taurus energy, by the way. Stereotypical. So if you're a Taurus or know someone and they're different, then they're different. That's stereotypical from what I understand of Taurus. And you're like, oh my God, I can't do that. Oh my God, no. Like, I feel like the Scorpios that I know, they'd be like, oh, like, no, like, every time, the same way, at the same time, at the same pace? Are you kidding me? But they have to figure out their own way to do things. They're breaking a habit of trying to mimic the way you do things, and they're on a quest to find their own way to do things. So that's not bad. It's the last card that came out that's kind of got me curious here. Because I feel like you're going to be promoting this and saying, you know what, yes, you got to find out how to do things. You're going to see people talking about what they're doing. And I feel like you're getting along with people and things are great. All right, so this isn't bad, but what they're saying is you got to be careful of this. The other person that you're dealing with here at some point is finally deciding that they have to find their own way to make their life work out correctly. They have to find their own path. Promote this. Other people might be making fun of them, or like scoffing at what they're doing in the sense of like, oh, what are they doing? Like that makes no sense. Like, or they're doing those lists again. I could fall asleep just thinking about it. Like I feel like there's something where there's gossip. Like literally, that's the gossip card. And somebody saying, "What you?" Like, I feel like people are like bolstering your way, like bolstering you up, saying, "Yes, the way you do it makes sense." Like I don't know what they're doing. Like they're always going to be a tragedy. Be careful and promote that person. Praise that person. Don't let people talk down about that person is what I'm getting. The fact that they're finally going on their own and figuring out their own path, their own way, like just remind people, like everybody's got to do things their own way. Let them find their way. Their way is fine. Let them do it their way. They'll have success their way. I feel like this reading is also saying be warned of the gossip. Like even if people are like bolstering how good you are really good is what I'm getting, whoever you are. And that's true, but like just make sure that this other person feels like they can make it happen too. And say, they need encouragement. Don't knock them down for trying to find out their own way. Everybody has their time. Some people find it quickly, some people don't. The fact that they're looking is a good thing. Just be aware of this gossip, because I'm getting like what I'm also getting is like the gossip that's happening, what builds you up today tears you down tomorrow. And I think a lot of people know that. It's kind of like if you look at the media, that's a great example. There's a new celebrity in town. Okay, great. Oh, they're so wonderful. They do everything. Everything they touch turns into sunshine and roses. Like, how wonderful. What a gift to life they are. And then, a year or two goes by and they're like, oh, they're the devil. They're the horrible person. They're like, look at this. Look at their life. Their life is a tragedy. Look how bad it is. It's the same thought. Like this, I know that's dramatic, but seriously, it's like the energy, especially gossip energy, what builds you up today tears you down tomorrow. Just be aware of that. I think this is good. The whole point of this reading is to realize what this person is doing and to like encourage them to like find their own path and their own way. For some of you, it might just be to be aware of it. Like when this person finally does start going their own way, that just might make more sense to you. Like what they're actually doing and why it was so weird for so long. This might make sense for that for you. I feel like for the people this really hits for, it's going to be different parts of this reading. It's going to make better sense of what you're supposed to get from it. So whatever works, enjoy. So thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.